Alright, welcome guys to another episode of how to make an RNG game on Roblox. So today we are making the Quickroll and the Autoroll. So we can actually get started real quick because this episode is not gonna take a while. First of all, I would like to add 2 more buttons near the roll button at the bottom. So if you were to go into the rolling GUI, under starter GUI, go into mainframe, then our holder. There should be a roll button inside. You can duplicate that twice, but actually we can remove one for now because it's easier to modify the one. So let's go into one of them roll buttons first. Check our layout order. Alright, so make sure that the actual roll button is in the middle, so layout order 0, and our, let's do quick roll, actually auto roll on the left, so auto roll button, and set this to the layout order -1. Next up, you can say that the size is not 0.2 and 0.75, but 0.2 and 0.2 again. If I actually sorry. This value right here, you can keep it the same, it doesn't matter. But the first one right here, you can adjust to about 0.5, I would say. Okay, that's better, but it... I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, we can keep it like that, but we could add a aspect ratio constraint, because it will always keep the button square, or like just the same size on every axis, so on the X and Y. So now that we have that, we can remove the title, and we can add a image label. Almost forgot. This image label can be scaled the same as the title, so you can copy that. The anchor point is gonna be 0.5. Sorry, 0.5. Next up, the position is also gonna be 0.5, and for the scale it's gonna be 0.85. Yes. Paste it in and name this the image. Actually, let's do picture. So you can grab the picture and change this to whatever you'd like. I have bought a few images, I would say. I linked this pack down below in the description. Well, I can link it down in the description for this episode, but I've linked it before and I'm gonna link it again if you would like. So I'm gonna search for Rebirth because it uses the texture that I want. This one. I'm gonna grab the flat white and I'm gonna create a texture. This I'm gonna make black for now, and that's perfect. The picture actually can be scaled down to 0.75 on both, and that looks overall better, but I would say 0.6 would actually that's a bit small. I would say 6.5. That's a bit better. Still small, so for the final value I would say 0.7, and I'm finished. So you can still adjust it if you want, but you can keep it like that if you also want to. It's your opinion. So now for the UI list layout, I am actually gonna adjust this padding a bit because it's a tiny bit much right now, and that is already perfect. So just change this padding to 0.01 and comma 0. Right. Next up, you can actually copy this auto roll button once again and name this quick roll button. Change the layout order to 1, and all you have to do now is change the picture. For the picture I'm gonna use a lightning bolt. Yes, a lightning bolt, and I just search lightning and the texture comes up that I need. Perfect. As you can see, that looks good. Yeah. So now that we have the buttons, we can actually, one more thing that I like to do is I would say that we can increase this UI corner on both the Autoroll and the Quickroll to 1. Okay, that's a circle, we don't want that. I would say like maybe 2 or comma 2, as well as on the roll button, because I think right now the edges are a bit rough, and I would say for the roll button a smoother edge would look better, and I am correct, it looks better. So now that we have that, it looks good and we can keep it. So now that we've finished with the button, we can actually hit play and check if everything works correctly. And as you can see, they don't scale because we have a aspect ratio constraint. So if we want to fix that, we would have to remove both the aspect ratio constraints from the buttons, but that's a simple fix because we can actually just adjust the scale until it looks good. So instead of 0.5, I'm gonna do 0.3, that's too stretched, so I'm gonna go for 0.4. 0.4 looks good, but 0.5 was near, so I'm gonna do about 0.48. 0.48 is a bit much, so I'm going down to 0.45. Looks way better. And one more thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab both pictures and set the resample mode, actually no, the scale type, to fit instead of stretch. And I am finished with the button. So if I were to hit play again, you can see that they should scale. They don't scale as much because there's barely an effect, but you can see they still have the effect. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop into our rolling handle, and all we have to do, actually no, first we're gonna go into leader stats and we're gonna add a few more things. So I would say you can copy your inventory folder, go down, add it here, but change this thing to our, let's do settings. Settings folder. What could we call this? We could say roll settings. That works. And instead of a folder, we could do a configuration. And then we can copy both of them. The parent is fine, and the name we can change this to roll settings. Now we can just add 2 more things, which is gonna be local quickroll. It's gonna be a instance.new, a bool value. This quickroll.parent is gonna be the roll settings we just created, and quickroll.name is gonna be quickroll. And then we can also say quickroll.value is gonna be false. So copy and paste this in, and this time it's gonna be Autoroll. So we can copy and paste them into all of them, capitalize the A, and we are done. If you want to save them, we could actually, we don't have to save them, but I would like to save the quick roll instead of the auto roll. So the auto roll is a bit more complicated if we want to save that, but I am gonna save the quick roll for now. So go down here to the return value. Below this comma we are gonna do roll settings. It's gonna be a new table. This table we are gonna do quick roll. It's gonna be false, and auto roll. It's gonna be false. Next up, we can go down to here. We can copy this one. Go to player.leaderstats. Actually, no, not player.leaderstats. Instead, we want to switch to player.roll settings. .quickroll .value, and then we can do if return value .roll settings .quickroll is equal, or sorry, not equal to nil, then we have to do return value this thing again, so you can copy and paste this in, and else we are gonna return false. So we can copy and paste this in and replace the Quickroll with Autoroll. And make sure you've spelled it exactly the same as we named it up here. So now that we have that, we don't even have the Autoroll, I am dumb, sorry. Only the Quickroll. If we were to go down to the data table, we can do essentially the same, but this time all we have to do is grab the roll settings, and I completely forgot to do the Autoroll, so to remove the Autoroll, just copy this thing, go down here and add the table in. Now that should be everything, if I am not wrong. No, I am wrong actually. Instead of saying Quickroll to false, all we have to do is go down, go up here and say local Quickroll. It's gonna be player dot roll settings dot Quickroll dot value, and then we can paste this down here and we should be finished. So if we were to hit play, and already something broke, amazing. But if we were to check our player, both of or all of the values should be in. So we have a configuration called roll settings with a Autoroll bool and a Quickroll bool. If we were to check this, we are indexing nil with Quickroll. Did I spell it wrong here? No, it should be fine. But why is it erroring? That is a problem. Because usually it should not error. So let me test something. If I were to change the data store to test2, it doesn't error, right? So I know why. But if we were to change it back to test1, we should get our original data save with the rolls and everything, and there isn't an error, right? So every time you add something new to the save, it will error because the data table is just nil for that. So I have my Quickroll, and if I were to switch over to the server, go into my player, go into roll settings and into my Quickroll, and if I were to enable this, if I were to switch over to the client, you can see it's enabled, and if I were to stop it and then go back into the game, it should stay exactly how we just set it, so it should be on true, and as you can see, it is true here. So now that we have that working, we can go back into the rolling handler and do something real quick. So all we have to do is up here, we already have defined the players and the actual player. So all we have to do is go here and say local roll settings. It's gonna be the player, colon wait for child. We are gonna do the roll settings, and that's it. So now we can go down here and say, actually up here, two more variables. Local Quickroll bool, it's gonna be false. Local Autoroll bool, I spelled bool wrong, this ball, bool like this, and Autoroll bool is also gonna be false. So actually no, not false. We are gonna do roll settings, wait for child, Quickroll dot value, copy and paste this down here and change this to Autoroll. Down here, all we have to do is do roll settings, wait for child, Quickroll dot changed, and all we have to do is connect this to a function, and inside this function we can do exactly how it says here. So Quickroll bool is gonna be officially the roll settings, wait for child, Quickroll dot value. So it essentially just overrides the value if it were to change. So we can do the same thing but for Autoroll and change this to Autoroll and this as well to Autoroll Bool. All we have to do now is go down here, say if Quickroll Bool is false, then all we have to do is say 12 or the value that you want, but I'm gonna keep it at 12, and else we are gonna do we can do 1, sure. So this is everything. All we have to do is we can go into start. If I were to roll, you can see it is instant because I have Quickroll set to true. I can check this. You can see it is true, it is instant, and that works perfectly. But if I were to switch over to the server, go into player and turn off my Quickroll like this, you can see it still takes a bit. Actually it doesn't. Why doesn't it? Okay, so it didn't update. Huh, that's weird. Yeah, because this is in a local script. Actually, no. So something didn't work. Let me quickly recode this. Alright, so I am back and I've realized something. So I am just being dumb right now. I have changed this thing to get property changed signal and to value instead of dot changed. I mean dot changed works as well, but get property changed signal works better. And also one more thing, this right now works, but it's just that this doesn't work, because this gets set, right? It gets set, it works, but the thing is, it just only gets set once. So we have to change it every time this thing changes. So if we were to go down here, all we have to do is do if Quickroll Bool is no, only if Quickroll Bool, then we can do number of rolls is gonna be 12, and else, so if it's not Quickroll Bool, then all we have to do is set it to 1 and end it right there. So number rolls is equal to 1. And if I am not wrong, everything should work correctly. So right now it is on true, so that didn't work. Okay, that is weird. Right now I am completely being dumb again. This thing was correct, I am so sorry. So we can actually keep this in. If Quickroll Bool, then 12, then 1, else 12. And also this is wrong, this should be if Quickroll Bool, then number of rolls is 1 and else 12, like this. And we can also check if it works by printing out the Quickroll Bool as well as the number of rolls, like this. As well as down here. So once we start, we should have one print, true 1. Exactly. So we have Quickroll on. And if I were to switch into my player, go into roll settings, check the Quickroll and turn it off, you can see it's false and the number of rolls is 12. So we now have a way to toggle it on and off, and that works perfectly. So we can remove both the prints here, and that is our Quickroll. Now for the Autoroll, all we have to do is we're gonna quickly remove this task.wait and put it down here at the bottom and remove this as well. So let me think. now that works. So all we have to do is we'll grab all of this. So make sure you have everything selected. Below this if the rolly bounce all the way down to the declined connection. Cut that out by saying Ctrl X and add a new function, which being local function and roll function. So paste this in and you have your roll function. Now that works correctly, all we have to do is call the roll function down here and it should still work the same. So if I were to hit my roll button, it should roll once and I can actually spam that. So that's the only thing that doesn't work right now and I have no clue why. Because okay. Let me think. Wow. Alright, so I have a way of using or of making that work again, sorry. So go up here to the accept connection and add a new variable, which is gonna be local button activated like this. Make sure it starts off at false and all we have to do is remove both returns from the connections and add button activated true on both of them. So basically replacing the return. So down here we can do repeat task.wait until the button is activated. So that should hopefully work. If I were to hit roll, you can see that works and I cannot spam it anymore. So I can hit decline and I can click it again. Works perfectly. So now that we have that, all we have to do, actually let me test something. I've set it to 1 right there, so I should not be able to click for 1 second, and that is fine as well. We are gonna add a cooldown label after this real quick because it doesn't take long. So one more thing which I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go all the way down right here. I'm gonna add the auto roll. So now that we have the roll function, Actually, inside the roll function we can do the following and say Autoroll, which is a bool. So activated like this. Grab this and we can change a few things. For example, this right here, we can do if the Autoroll is activated, if not Autoroll activated, then we can do this and end. So basically, if the Autoroll is deactivated, then it toggles the UI effect, and otherwise it doesn't do that. So we can copy and paste this line and paste this everywhere where we have the thing. Where is it? The toggle UI effect, right? So in the UI, turn off UI as well. So all we have to do is go into this function and do one more thing. Actually, where do we use the turn off UI? Because I only think we are using it down there. So you can copy and paste this button and paste it into here somewhere. Let's paste it in right before the button activated. So all we have to do again, is copy and paste those lines and replace it with this, but replace the fire with false. The true with false. And all we have to do is we can either set the roll function to have the Autoroll activated or not. So let's start off with false. So if we not have it activated, you can see that it does the UI effect, which is fine. And if I were to say true, then it should not do the UI effect. So you can see the screen only gets darker once for whatever reason, but it doesn't do the actual effect. So that works perfectly. All we have to do now is actually make the Autoroll. So we could get the run service, I think it was. So local run services, game get service, run service. Go all the way down and hit run service .heartbeat, connect that to a function. So basically what this does is it is essentially the same as while true. So as while true do. It's basically the same as this. So it's basically a infinite loop, but differently. So all we have to do now is grab one more thing, which is the roll cooldown. Do we have that? No, we don't. So we go back up and do the settings again. So local roll cooldown. That is gonna be, let's do 1 second for now. And if you were to go down, replace this with the roll cooldown and do task.wait roll cooldown as well. So all we have to do down here is say if Autoroll bool. Actually no, we can do repeat or repeat task.wait until Autoroll bool is true. Actually we don't even have to do this until Autoroll bool. So check the Autoroll bool. Do we have this? No, we don't. So copy and paste this. Say roll settings wait for child Autoroll and change this to Autoroll bool. This to Autoroll bool as well. Sorry, not Autoroll like this. And all we have to do down here is instead of saying that, we don't even have to change anything. Perfect. We move that line and we are finished. So go down here and you can basically say print Autoroll bool, comma, is rolling for now. So check this out, go into the game, go into player, into the configuration, the Autoroll, value to true, and as you can see it prints out the rolling thing, because it is rolling and that works. But one more thing I noticed, it prints out it way too much, as you can see, because we are using this thing. So we can actually replace this with a while loop, because that works better. Task.wait, roll cooldown, and just do like this. Remove this bracket right here, and that's finished. So all it does is it waits 1 second or your roll cooldown, and then it rolls just once in general. So press play. If I were to turn on my Autoroll, you can see it prints it out every second, and if I stop it, you can see it also doesn't roll anymore. So all we have to do is go in here and do exactly the same thing as up here. Yep, that works. Except we only have to remove this thing, the task.wait. Looks good. So go back into our roll function, and all the way down here where it says button activated, we can actually grab this and sure, grab this and put this into a if. So all we have to do is check if the Autoroll bool or Autoroll activated is false. So if not Autoroll activated, then we do this and hit an end here. Simple as that. And one more thing, all of this thing for the accept and decline button, we can put this into a if as well. So if Autoroll activated is false, so if not Autoroll activated, and then it does all of this. That is fine. And one more thing we have to do is we have to script this thing, or like these two buttons, except for the Autoroll. So it automatically accepts auras and whatnot. So all we have to do is say if Autoroll activated, then we can do the following of saying, of getting our settings, which we are gonna script later on. So local, let's do accept value, and that's gonna be 0 for now. Actually, let's do about 30. Why not? So if our accept value is gonna be 30, then it only accepts auras that are above or equal to 30. So all we have to do is say if accept value is actually no, sorry, not the accept value. So where was it? It was all the way up there. That's done. That's so dumb actually. We have to rotate. So we have to do something real quick, which is gonna be a bit difficult. So we also do local current aura info, which is gonna be an empty table right now, but because we have to actually get that first. So for every single, let's do aura in I pairs roll table, like this, do, then we can check, if the index of the current aura is the same as the max. No. So we can check if the index is the same as the amount of rolls, so number of rolls. Then we can print it out. So let's just check that real quick if I am correct. If index is the same as number of rolls, then print roll table for now. So go into your Autoroll, enable this. You can see you have a table for the rare. This is rare and that works. So all we have to do now is wait. So that is, yeah. So all we have to do is index this with 1, and if I am not wrong, we should only get the info of the aura that we've rolled and not like a extra table, which is not useful. So we only have the basic info, right? That works. So all we have to do is essentially set the current aura info to the roll table and index 1. Remove this print, and all we have to check now is if the current aura info and index 2 is bigger than or equal to our accept value. Then all we have to do is script our accept button, and otherwise we just continue. Right. Right, yeah, that's correct. So get both of this, paste this in here, and actually we can grab this turn off UI because that's gonna get activated. Like, it's just gonna get activated no matter what. If we hit the accept button or the decline button, it's just gonna get activated. So we can paste this down here and we are finished. So if I am not wrong, we can go into roll settings, auto roll, and we should be able to do the rolling. You can see it just pops up. It does increase our rolls, and it should also give us auras if it would be bigger or greater than 30. We just got a rare, but that is not larger than 30, so it actually didn't get added. And that might take a bit. So one more thing that I'm gonna do is I am gonna quickly go into replicate search, check my aura list, and as you can see, if I were to set it over like 7, then we should get every uncommon as well. So change this accept value to 7, and we should now also get every single uncommon that we roll, or anything above a uncommon. We just got a uncommon, and as you can see, it got added. We just got a rare as well, and they just stack over time. So our auto roll works now. We are gonna clean up everything in a later episode, like where the buttons actually work and whatnot, but I am too tired actually right now, because I just got done playing for 24 hours with, you know, my family for a Christmas event, but I am too tired to do both of those buttons, or like the effect for the buttons, and we are gonna script that in a later episode. I'm gonna make a 2-parter off of this, but I hope you've enjoyed this quick episode, and I hope I will see you in the next episode again. See you and goodbye.